Hello, hello. If you are here, but you're out in the lobby, come on into the Gampa. Geshe should be arriving momentarily. We want to be ready for him when he arrives.
Buen día, Ale.
Good morning, everyone online. We are still awaiting Geshe-la's arrival. Thanks for your patience. Geshe-la's arrived.
Please turn to page 34, and we'll start with Shakyamuni Buddha's mantra 3 times. Te ata mune mune maha munae soha. Te ata mune mune maha munae soha. Te ata mune mune maha munae soha. And now the medicine Buddha stanza and mantra. Bhagawan, with equal compassion for all, whose name when merely heard dispels the suffering of the lower realms, dispeller of disease and the 3 poisons, I prostrate to medicine Buddha, lapis light. Te ata om bekanze bekanze maha bekanze bekanze raja samugate soha. Te ata om bekanze bekanze maha bekanze bekanze raja samugate soha. Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Bekanze Raja Samugate Soha Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Bekanze Raja Samugate Soha Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Bekanze Raja Samugate Soha Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Bekanze Raja Samugate Soha Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Bekanze Raja Samugate Soha. And now the four measurables, also on page 34. May all sentient beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. May all sentient beings be free from suffering and the cause of suffering. May all sentient beings be inseparable from the happiness that is free from suffering. May all sentient beings abide in equanimity, free from attachment for friends or hatred for enemies. May all sentient beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. May all sentient beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May all sentient beings be inseparable from the happiness that is free from suffering. May all sentient beings abide in equanimity, free from attachment for friends or hatred for enemies. May all sentient beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. May all sentient beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May all sentient beings be inseparable from the happiness that is free from suffering. May all sentient beings abide in equanimity, free from attachment for friends or hatred for enemies. Now please turn to page 37, and we'll chant the verse of praise and mantra, first for Chandrasik and then for Green Tara. Not veiled by any fault, white in color, whose head a perfect Buddha crowns in light, gazing compassionately at all beings. To you, Chandrasik, I'll sing when I prostrate. Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 Tare liberates from cyclic existence. Tu Tare liberates from the 8 fears. Tu Tare liberates from all sickness. I prostrate to the liberator Mother Tara. Om Tare Tu Re Soha. 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 Then please turn to page 34 for the Refuge in Bodhicitta prayer. Chu danso ki cho nam la jan chu ba du dani kap su chi da ki chen yen ki pe sen nam ki do la ben chu san ge du pa sho. Chu danso ki cho nam la jan chu ba du dani kap su chi da ki chen yen ki pe sen nam ki do la ben chu san ge tu pa sho. Chu danso ki cho nam la jan chu ba du dani kyap su chi da ki chen yen ki pe sen nam ki do la ben chu san ge tu pa sho.
Kadampa Jom. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Bowing down to a cat. Please, would you mind take a few moments to introduction, a few moments, okay? Good morning, Vendava Tenzin Lamo. Good morning, Chitra Matra. Good morning, Giovanna. Good morning, Fernanda, Marcelo. Good morning, Esther. Esther. Good morning, Chitty. Thank you very much for translating. Good morning, Anna, Kim. Good morning, Kadampa Lobby. Good morning, Nico. Good morning, Jessica. Good morning, two invisible beings, Suzanne, Joanna.
Okay, everyone, if you can wrap up your hellos. And then make your way back to your seats. We'll get started.
Good morning, Joanna. Oh, yeah. We'll start with short meditations. Okay, short meditation. We'll start with short meditation. First, please check your mental state. Your mental state. Check your mental state. If it's positive, very good. If it's like not, if it's neutral, better than nothing. If it's neutral, if it's like if your mind's upset, then probably good to do breathing meditations. Just breathe out, breathe in. They can do this 21 times. Actually, these breathing meditations is for if you're having hard time controlling your thought, meaning if you're having so many thoughts, one after another, back to back. So then this particular meditation is taught how to control that. Because your mind starts to wander when you have more thought, then your mind starts to wander. So then in order to gain some kind of control, some level of control, is very much based on how well you do the breathing meditations with mindfulness. So it's very much depend on that. Okay, so then you do this breathing meditation. It's called 21 breathing meditations. First begin with the exhale, then you inhale, then you count 1, then you do that 7 times. If your mind thrown into neutral, so then you don't need to do 21 times. Is not mandatory. Okay, so within the 5-7 breathing, if you can able to transform your mind from upsetting to neutral, now it's okay. So then, that is very much needed in neutral and the positive in order to do meditation successfully. It's very much needed. So that needs to be done through some form of meditations. In this case, it's the breathing meditations. As I mentioned before, like I told you a story long time ago. You may remember, maybe no man don't remember. There's like house. There's one bed. It only able to hold one person, no 2 person, single bed. So you come in, there's already somebody sleeping there. So now you want to sleep, you can't sleep because the bed is occupied. So now there's one way to do, maybe you can fight. There's no guarantee, you may not win. There's another way you can trick that person. Just go to the window, say, oh, huge snake or something like that. Something, that person will get up maybe, believing you, maybe that's snake. So that's what the breathing meditation does. Ongoing thought, like hard to control, one after another. So when you focus on breathing, it's like that. So all these are going to be kind of like trick. All this bombarding of thought is going to be trick. So eventually they just, the mental state will be occupied by mindfulness. Breathing meditation will occupy the mental state. There will be less thought. Okay? So that's for that. So if your mind is already neutral or positive, so then there's no best way to start any form of meditations. So that's why I'm asking you to first check your mental state. Based on that. Or you can do 9-round breathing meditation, pretty much same thing. 9-round breathing meditations. There's 2 ways to do. One, you can just imagine. That's not practical, it's kind of hard. I think eventually you could do practically, but at the beginning it's kind of hard. Inhaling from the right nostril, then exhaling from the left nostril, doing this 3 times, then inhaling from the left nostril, exhaling from the right nostril 3 times, then the both nostrils 3 times. That's called 9-round. There's 9-round meditation. There's 3 parts. Each has 3. That's become 9. Called 9-round breathing meditations. Same thing. It says in the teaching. It says Rigpa Thangni means like the mind. Thang means clear. Nik means not clear. It means kind of mess up. For 1,000 different reasons. Didn't get enough sleep. Wake up early morning by neighbors like lawnmower. Lawnmower. Person couldn't hear. They wear something. Big headphone that you hear. So there's 1,000 different reasons. You maybe wake up with that you're already upset or something. There's 1,000 different. So then that mind, unpleasant mind, thought, that's called nik. Usually means like kind of like garbage, not much use. So that mind Disturbing thought is not much use, same like garbage, not much useful. Tang clear, mind that kind of like upset, disturbing thought. So what 9 round breathing meditation does, so it kind of like separate them, it's kind of like distinguish, it's kind of clearly separate them. Rigvatani, leparche. Leparche means clearly separate them, doing 9 round breathing meditation. At the beginning, I think better to use your ring finger, block your left nostril, inhale. Then block, exhale. As I said, you can imagine, you can just visualize. Practically, it's hard to physically feel anything. You have to be very trained. If you well train yourself, maybe that you could feel. At the moment, in my case, it's impossible. So I use finger like 3 times. Same then the right here. Of course, first needs to clean the nose. Otherwise, precious jewel will come with the breathing. So then you do that from both nostrils 3 times. In that, any form of breathing meditation you do, you need to sit straight. You can't just go like this, that, like that. Other meditation doesn't matter, you can lean back, you can walk. But the breathing meditation does require sitting position. Sitting properly is important because it has to do something to do with channel inside our body, channels. So sitting straight will be, all the channel will be straight up, so then energy will run through smoothly. Take probably less effort, For example, like you don't see here in village, you see they kind of like there's a piece of like bamboo. They have the so there's there what the water comes from the rock, drips here, so then goes. Then people used to drink, but end. If the bamboo is like this, it takes a long time to get there. It goes there, goes here, goes there. If the water is not strong enough, it will take probably forever to get. So therefore, it's like almost like that channel, straight energy will run through smoothly. That's why, for the sake of knowledge, if you want to share, that's what has been exactly explained in the teachings thousands of years ago. And that's been tested. Did like a lot of research by scholars, and after that practitioner tested instructions, produce result. If you follow that kind of instructions, more likely there will be some result. Okay. It's not like somebody just made it up 2 days ago. It's not like that. So this meditation instruction has been there thousands of years. Okay. So now here, first we check our mental state. What kind of mental state? As I mentioned, it's a neutral, better than nothing. Positive is very good. So then you meditate. So meditations that I'm going to lead, what I'm hoping, I led this meditation many times here at the center on Sunday. Here, your life gets so busy for 1,000 reasons. There's so many things to do, so many to take care of. Particular weekend, there are many things to do. You feel, people in the West, you feel like you don't have enough time. Monastery, we have tons of time, so we study all day long. There's a lot of time, nothing else much to do. So here you have many things to do. So what I'm hoping, what kind of result I'm hoping out of these meditations doesn't require much preparations. What I'm hoping, like some kind of like calm mind, peaceful mind from this meditation. That's what I'm hoping. I'm not hoping that you'll get enlightened doing these meditations. That's probably not going to happen. Enlightenment, there's so much to learn. I'm not hoping that you'll achieve nirvana or liberations from this meditation. I'm not hoping that. What I'm hoping, some level of calm mind, and hoping that your mind will be in peace. Once your mind start to get calm, then hoping, second level, some degree of peace that you can enjoy. That's what I'm hoping. But this meditation is designed for much more than that. It's not just designed for temporary calm mind or peace in the mind. But it will produce, this meditation will produce, because this meditation goal is much, much bigger than this. This meditation is this meditation that I'm about to lead, this meditation is true, designed to understand true nature of self. That's the goal, the true nature of self. That's the goal of this meditation, to understand the true nature of self. It's totally different than your notion of self, our notion of self. So, true nature of self, ultimate nature of self, that's the goal of this meditation. But that's the ultimate goal. But temporarily, what we are hoping maybe to gain, to achieve some level of calm mind, and hope that calm mind will produce some degree of peace within your mind. Okay? The best, there's a totally according to instruction. It's not my idea. It's totally based on instructions, teachings. The best way to do this meditation is try not to have any expectations. Okay? Try not to have any expectations. Don't become tight. Don't stress out. Don't expect anything. Just do. If I don't expect anything, nothing will happen. No, something will happen. Maybe expecting something, there's no guarantee something will happen because you expect. That's not how it works. So this meditation, best way to do is try not to have any expectations. Talk, concern, worry, past, present moment, future. Better not to have, try not to have any worry. Just be. Just be. Namtok, wandering thought. Wandering thought. That's why we don't experience peace of mind, calm mind, because our thoughts always wander. Hard to keep our mind calm, because there's so many thoughts. So try not to worry, concern, worry our thoughts get disturbed. When it starts to get disturbed, it just gets wanders. It just goes all over the place. That's how it happens. Your mess, no concern, no expectations, just to be, just a little bit. Your mess, chungse means just a little bit, not hours and hours, just a few minutes. What we are looking at, nothing. We are not looking at anything. We are not looking at anything. What do you see? Nothing. You see nothing. That is the object. Seeing nothing, that is the object. Seeing something, in this case, seeing something, that's not the object. Seeing nothing, that is the object. Like this, space. Just pause there, seeing nothing. Just pause on that, seeing nothing. Nawa appears. Nawa appears. Yeah, it appears. Space appears, but there's nothing. It's just empty. Nawa appears. Pinpin is not this, is not that. It's like clear mirror. It has potential to reflect everything. If you put something in front, it will reflect there. Reflection, you will see the reflection. Right now, there's nothing in front of that mirror. There's nothing. There's nothing. It is just appearance. It's not that, it's not this. It's very clear. It has potential to reflect everything. If you put something, it will reflect that. But right now, there's nothing. Nothing to analyze. You don't need to investigate. There's nothing to investigate. There's nothing to analyze. There's nothing to find. Just pause. With full focus, full mindfulness, just little bit, just pause, okay? So that is the meditation. You may just meditate a little bit on that. Nothing. Seeing nothing, that's the object. Okay? Not too much effort, just enough. Not too much effort. Don't need to push too hard. This meditation must be like big bird gliding in the sky, not flipping all the time, just gliding. Relax. Decent amount of effort, not too much effort. When thought rise, simply recognize them, don't follow. When thought rise, simply recognize them, don't follow. Eventually, that what we are hoping, that our mind awareness become like still, clear water. All the dust has been settled in the bottom. Still, clear water. So you can practice at home, short period of time, short. Beginning, short, many. When you become familiar, few, long. That's how meditation has been done. Any form of meditation has been done. That's the skillful way of doing meditation. And for the beginning, short, many. When you become familiar, few, then long, you will have less problems. When to stop? When you feel good, stop. Don't stop when you feel miserable. Stress, that's not good, that's not skillful. You stop when you feel good, you have some success, stop, you can do it again. So now here, what I said, during the meditation, when thought rise, simply recognize them, don't follow. Namdo kanda kanjeba tedantini ngusungcha means whatever thought that pops up, simply recognize them, don't follow. That's exactly what the text says. Namdo kanda kanjeba tedantini ngusungcha. Ngusung means recognize them. Didn't need to do what? Don't need to do anything. Just simply recognize them. Or thought or checking in the refrigerator whether I have dessert or not, for example. If you stand up, go to the kitchen, open the refrigerator, that means you follow the thought. That's what it means. Just recognize, oh, that thought looking for dessert or ice cream in the kitchen, or that thought, just simply recognize them, then don't follow. So see, is that doable? Yeah, it's very possible. So even when you are awake, not meditation, maybe some degree of focus that you are working on some project that requires a lot of attention, that your whole, pretty much you are almost, most of your attention is on that project, figuring out somebody walk by or somebody say something. Did you hear? Yeah, you did hear. Did you see somebody went by? Yeah, that's called nala mangeba. See, but not distracted. Hear, but not distracted. Nala mangeba. That's the kind of also mindset. Nala mangeba. See, but does not recall by seeing. Heard, but doesn't recall what you heard. Like that. What happened? You recognize whatever is happening. Either it is sound or visual image, there's some level of interactions, but the most of the attention is on the project. That's why most of the focus is on something, therefore power of the focus. You recognize them, but you don't interact. That's why you don't remember, you don't recall. Same thing when you do the meditations. Yeah, you do know the thought rise. That's what it means. Recognize, don't follow. Means recognize, don't interact. Same thing. So then, anything at the beginning, anything in the very first time is not easy. Not easy. But it could become easier if you practice. There's the same thing for not just meditation, same thing for everything. So then it's become not just easier, become better and better and better, First, I think banana bread will turn disaster, not knowing how much portion to put there. Second, a little bit better, eatable. Second, eatable. Third, better. Then, that's possible. You could become better than the person you taught how to bake banana cake. Is that true? It's true. The listener could become much better than the person who is teaching. It's very true, okay. So this Tangbu Leji Semne about Dubi Meju Tamkeda. Tangbu Leji Semne means keeping your mind still. Keeping your mind still, meaning is not wandering. Keeping your mind still for the beginner. Tangbu Leji means for the beginner. Tangbu Leji means beginner. Semne, but same means the awareness or thought. Name is still. Dubi Meju Tapke, this is the best method. The meditation I just led is the best method for the beginner, meaning someone who never meditated or have no clue about meditations. So that's what it said in the text. Tambile jesem nebo duve menjum tapke. Tapke means skillful, best skillful method. Best skillful method to keep your mind still, meaning easy to say be within, be present. The question is how. It's not that easy as it sounds. Often you say here, breathe. That's how you say people get upset or like anxious. You say breathe. Yeah, if you breathe with mindfulness, it will help. It will definitely help. But just simply breathing, I don't think that will have that much help. Breathing with mindfulness, focus, concentration will help, will reduce your anxiety or fear. So please, so do these meditations. If you find out it's helpful, you are enjoying some degree of calm mind, peaceful mind, then please continue, you will become better. Master Shantideva, in Guide to Buddhist Way of Life, he says, if you put some effort, there's nothing out there that doesn't become familiar. Meaning you could learn. In the beginning, it sounds so hard. Eventually you figure it out, or you learn this and that, then put it together. Somebody teach, explain, then you learn. There's nothing out there if you put some effort and practice, it will become easier. Not just that over time you will become better at it. You will become better at it. Next two lines. Never chung in basically you learn how to tolerate small difficulties. Either you read something, you heard something, or how to handle difficulties, approach them. Then you learn how to handle or tolerate small degree of difficulties. Down the road, that practice will help you to able to manage bigger difficulties. That's what, who said? Indian Master Shantideva. That book's Guide to Buddhist Way of Life, that's been written many centuries ago, many centuries ago. That book's been written. There's nothing out there, if you put some effort, does not become easier. There's nothing. Therefore, able to tolerate small difficulties, down the road, it helps you to tolerate bigger difficulties. Master Shantideva said, very practical, very truth, very practical, very realistic, very practical. Just simply sit there, pray. It's not like that. It's some form of exercise, meditations. So there's never how you tolerate small difficulties, how? Require a lot of thinking, knowledge. You have to have something to think about. You can't just tolerate. Maybe you have knowledge about the human complications. This life is, I used to think it's perfect. Turns out, according to Buddha's teaching, it comes with 8 different types of complications. Nothing surprise, just accept. There's nothing you can do. It's just simply being human. You go through these 8 types of problems. It's not, don't become surprised. Maybe that helps you to tolerate similar difficulties. Or maybe you read about karma, teaching of karma. Maybe that helps you to tolerate. Or maybe you saw someone who's going through bigger problems. You learn that could be possible. You learn, oh, I should not complain. My life is 1,000 times better than that one. Probably I should think, learn how to make less complain. Yeah, like that. Knowledge in order to how you can manage to tolerate similar difficulty does require wisdom. Wisdom is produced by knowledge. No knowledge, no wisdom. Wisdom. Wisdom, what wisdom does? Liberates, frees, frees from what? Oh, the similar difficulties driving me nuts. So now no longer, because something happened. And, any form of freedom from any complication, according to Buddha's teachings, is caused by wisdom. By hearing something or reading something, thinking something, what you read, thinking deep, three types of wisdom, liberates, frees. From what? Problem. That's all problem. Therefore, now you wonder why Buddha taught all these wrote these thousands of books, all down here, all the way up down there. 84,000 scriptures Buddha taught. Why? Tackling this mind is not easy, it's not a piece of cake. It requires a lot of knowledge. That's why we study. Then we implement what is called meditations. Apply day-to-day life, that's called meditations. So just want to share that with you, okay? So now, maybe how many Sundays ago?
I've lost
My
track.
teacher came, Ling Rinpoche came. It's all good things. But I think last Sunday, not last, few Sundays ago, maybe 4 Sundays ago, I don't even remember. Well, so we are talking about self-love. Right? The topic is compassion. Compassion, that's what I'm trying to explain based on His Holiness book. We are all learning His Holiness Dalai Lama understanding of compassion. So that's why we're reading this book. So then that class led into self-love. So main topic is compassion. So then that led to self-love. So then what I requested to everybody to write down something. Don't write down. I mean from your heart. What it means, like when you hear the word self-love, what it means. Why I asked that? That term, I never heard. Back in the monastery, nobody talks. Nobody talks of self-love. So I only hear when I came to the West, I heard self-hatred, self-love. This term, nobody, believe it or not, nobody talks about that. Does that mean everybody in the monastery, they are free from suffering? No, not free from suffering. Why? Nobody talks about that. Something to do with the culture that you grew up? I don't know. I have no answer. I don't know. That's why I requested you to write down when you think about this word self-love, what it really means, it doesn't mean there's no teaching in Buddhism. Of course, there's tons of teachings how to help yourself, but it doesn't word it like self-love. It doesn't word it like that. So now, therefore, I'm eager to learn from you the meaning of self-love, what it means self-love. So that's why I requested each and every one of you help me, give me some break, so then you can teach how you define self-love, what do you mean self-love. Why first place, why that thought occurred in the first place, how that thought occurred in the first place. Lot of good, I think, we had good discussions, a lot of people people said. So we can continue if you want to say something like from your heart. Why self-love, like why, and like, then what other question, why, how, I'm not sure. Oh, my friend from online, please, you are welcome to contribute if you want to contribute self-love, yeah. No pressure, so no pressure, yeah. David. I think it's important because it brought it up many occasions. It brought it up many occasions. I think it's important to talk. Yeah.
Well, I think we often speak about how the concept of love is the wish for yourself and others to be happy as a basic Buddhist concept. So self-love, I suppose, would mean the wish that you yourself would be happy, and then it seems to me it's kind of closely related to maybe the word self-regard, which is, do you have respect and love for yourself, not overdoing it and becoming very egotistical, and not underdoing it and thinking you're worthless, but having some kind of equanimity in terms of your own self-regard. And I think the word self-love is often used to mean, do I have an appropriate level of self-regard for myself, thinking I'm valuable, thinking I'm making a contribution, but not thinking that I'm the dictator of the whole world and I'm the only person that matters,
That's very good. Self-regard. That's good. So now, what I'm hoping that everybody contribute, I'm hoping we can create some meditations about self-love meditations. I don't know how to do. I don't know. Did I study Buddhism? Yeah, I did study. I finished my whole study. Took almost like 25 years. I studied a lot of them. But I don't know how to create self-love meditation. I have no clue. I don't have any clue. So therefore, I'm hoping everybody brings something. We put it together. Maybe there's a way to probably line them up, step 1, step 2, step 3. So then anybody can lead. So then we meditate. So there's a good point, self-regard. So now my primary question for you is how to do self-love. Yeah, the term, the concept, the idea, I'm not against that. I'm for that. The question for me is how to do. How you do? What do you do? What do you do? Self-love, mere word, that's not good enough. Need to show some action. How you do? What do you do? What do you do? I mean, what do you do that kind of makes you love yourself? What do you do? So that's the primary question, yeah.
I think one of the all that David said is correct in terms of viewing yourself or self-compassion. But one of the reasons I think it's so difficult is the predominant philosophy, religious philosophy in this country, Christianity and the Abrahamic faiths, teach you that when you are born with original sin, that your soul is black until you accept some salvation from an entity outside of yourself. And you're taught all along to have love and compassion, but always for others. And only by having love and compassion for others can you begin to reduce the blackness of your soul or be saved. You have to be reborn, because what you are is not good enough. So it's when we learn about love and compassion, even in Buddhism, it's fairly easy, I think, for most of us to apply it to others, but very difficult to apply all those things David said to ourselves. But I saw a quote one time that helps me, and it said, "Compassion that does not include yourself is incomplete." So it's easier for me to think of trying to live up to a proper definition of compassion, of a complete compassion by including myself, than to think of, be compassionate to others and then try to apply it back to myself, if that makes any sense.
Very good, very good. Linda, can you write, you are writing down here, self-regard, incomplete compassion, self-regard, incomplete compassion.
Yes.
It's a good question. I'll say from establishing kind of a definition for the meditation will be good, but for probably this term, self-love, is somewhat of a loaded term. It's probably going to have very different definitions for different people or different generations. Because sometimes you'll find people, almost like what David and Elise are saying, which is very good, using it more like self-care or self-compassion. Some people will use it a little bit more pleasure-based, like pleasing yourself. And so if you hear it used in different contexts, you kind of have to unpack how that person's using it, because it could go in a lot of different directions. I would like to think that most people use the word in self-love in kind of a compassion for yourself or filling your own cup so that you can keep helping others. But you will see it used in different ways in different places.
Very good. So, Linda, write it down.
Yes, I'm taking notes.
Looks like nobody's bringing anything. better take some notes.
And if you want to send me anything via email, it's program.linda@kadampa-center.org. And I've already received some things from folks, and then I'll start compiling it and send it out maybe in the newsletter this week, or the newsletter is called This Week. It might not go out this week. So, go ahead, Andre.
So that's very good. So you say something, then we kind of bridge Buddhist knowledge, your idea, we bridge. Something's going wrong, something. So again, maybe to see where we can, like, which part of teachings suits better to that sections. I think that's very good. So, what he said, what you write down?
I haven't written anything that Vincent said, because I'm going to go back and listen to the transcript.
You say self-care, self-pleasing. It's like that varies people to people, generation to generations, meaning of self-love. Could be self-care, self-pleasing, filling up. You say filling up? Okay. Yeah, I think that's good. So maybe more needed.
For me, self-love, self-compassion is being patient with myself. No one is harder on me than I am on myself. And so I'm learning how to be patient with myself and to give myself a break, you know, and as Pima Children says, lighten up. And I always try to include, when I'm doing the four immeasurables, always try to include myself. In fact, I will insert that when I'm doing the prayer, may all sentient beings, including myself, have happiness and the causes of happiness. I always say including myself, and I teach this to the guys in prison, to always include yourself, because we will forget that we are part of all beings.
Okay, so including self and like patience, patience.
Yeah, patience with myself.
Patience with self and including, you know. Yeah.
So a couple of things I've thought about are self-forgiveness. So we could, along those lines, we can be hard on ourselves that, you know, things that we've done we could hold on to and feel bad about. So forgiving ourselves by relaxing and breathing and accepting. So self-acceptance, maybe another word we'd want to look at.
Yeah. Self-acceptance and self-forgiveness, yeah. Very good. We are getting a lot of input, so that's good. Need to line up them.
Yeah, I think self-love, developing self-love involves getting to know ourselves really well, the whole spectrum of who we are, the good and the bad, and learning, allowing ourselves to rejoice in our good qualities and really celebrate them and appreciate them. And then also, as Andre and Chutzala referred to, accepting our imperfections, recognizing that we're not perfect yet and we're a work in progress, you know, and working to develop both our good qualities and the areas that need to be improved with acceptance.
Accept and recognizing self-imperfections. These are good, these are very good. Sorry, but doesn't sound good, it's good. It doesn't sound good, self-imperfection.
Accepting our imperfections.
Imperfection doesn't sound good, but it's good. It is good.
But also, I think key is recognizing those areas that we do have good qualities and allowing ourselves. I think in the West we don't allow ourselves to say, "Wow, I'm doing okay in this area. I'm pretty good there," and I want to keep moving that way.
Carol. I think Carol contributed last time very good, you know, so again. Yeah.
Next.
I guess what I'm thinking a lot about is the society we live in, you know, kind of a capitalistic society that's materialistic, and, you know, to be a good citizen, you buy things that, you know, you are not enough, that you have to purchase things outside of yourself, you know, to be good enough to be a participant in this society. It's a very materialistic society where you need to be prettier, you need to be more fit, you need to own things, it's very consumerism. And I think the message we get our whole lives in this society is we're not good enough just the way we are, you know, that we need to buy things or be something else to be good enough, you know, and to measure up against all the other people in society. And I do feel like, you know, kind of what Elise was saying earlier, you know, the Christian thing of like, you're not good enough the way you are, you're kind of born with sin and you have to be reborn to not have sin. You know, it's the same thing. You're not good enough the way you are. You have to go outside of yourself to be, you know, and consume things in order to be good. And I just think we all run into problems with that because those are the messages we're fed. And then self-love can then sometimes be linked to, if you love yourself, you go out and get your nails done. If you love yourself, you go, you know, you do things for yourself, which I think in this room, most of us understand that's not self-love. That's splurging, but anyway.
Very good. How you can sum up?
And there are some online as well, on YouTube. Sorry, do you
Yeah,
want me to
please,
read them?
share. So then go.
One student says, self-love feels like the ability to listen instead of only demanding of the body, the mind, the experience, basically of oneself. And then also, the student says, I'm thinking self-love feels like the necessary directing of focus and energy towards care for my mind, my body and spirit, to give strength and stability, to give compassion to the world.
How to summarize? How to summarize?
How to summarize that one?
Yeah, in a few words.
Yes, to direct focus and energy to care for oneself, body, mind, and spirit, so that then you can give compassion to the world.
Linda, please write down.
I've got it.
So then the carol, that like sounds more like pressure of the society.
Societal pressure.
There's many. I was just trying to like, the pressure from society, so that always feel like to do something to become better, or like go out, do something like cut your hair.
Yeah, and there's a term called keeping up with the Joneses, like keeping up with others, trying to be as good or better.
Sorry to interrupt, but I think this is very important for all of us to make sure that we create some kind of the category, like similar, like for example, like precious human life or impermanent. Underneath, there are so many to think. So hoping to create something like that, then line them up. So then next time, then maybe outline for self-love meditations. So then we can all benefit, help many people. So then another online.
No, but Meg has something here.
Growing up Catholic and being taught by nuns and priests along the way, the concept of original sin really does resonate with me in terms of trying to understand that baggage and get rid of it, because I just think that it connects with things like mortification of the flesh. You actually beat yourself, whip yourself, hit yourself to cleanse yourself, and it just seems like an unhealthy state of mind. And when I came upon the Dharma, and I came upon it fortunately in my teens, very early, and then very slowly but very consistently dove in, I realized that the Dharma teachings are all very, healthy states of mind, and they comport with like modern Western psychology that talks about the need for self-love, the need for self-esteem. I'm just very grateful for what the Dharma has taught me.
Kim, actually here, Megan's been waiting right here. Meg.
More than Carol? Okay.
Yeah, we have plenty of time, not to worry. I'm enjoying my break. By the way, you are creating tons of merit, giving me a break.
Thank you, Gashi. So a little bit of what Vincent was saying, right? Different terms for different people. I think the term self-love has become very trendy in the last couple of years.
Kind of trendy, what is trendy?
Popular.
Oh, popular.
Yeah.
Oh, popular. Popular,
Usually
yeah.
short-term popularity.
Yep, with our culture especially, right? Self-love and self-care, and like Carol was saying, a lot of times that goes towards consumerism. So for you to be able to have self-love, you're going to the spa or something like that, spending money on yourself. But from the couple of years, especially here at Kadampa Center, I think that I'm realizing it's more an intentional thought to, like, for example, I travel a lot, and I'm trying to be helpful to other people, to be more patient with others, to be, so when I travel, I go to the airport and it's really annoying, right? Like people stand in the wrong lines or they're not paying attention. And, you know, I really have to be intentional in the way that I'm thinking to be more compassionate towards those people, right? To get less annoyed, get less frustrated. And I think that's kind of been the trigger for me, is to be intentional with myself too. I'm really practicing with other people, but I practice less with myself. But realizing then that the more that I do have patience for myself, or forgiveness, you know, that I slept a little too late in the day, or, you know, that kind of stuff with myself, then the better I'm automatically going to be with other people, the more that that resonates to other sentient beings, right, to everything. So it's funny because I started outwards with people and trying to show compassion and, you know, not get frustrated, and then realizing, like, the more that I am that person with who I am and allowing patience and forgiveness and that intention, I think, is key, then the easier it is to be nicer to people on their cell phones waiting in line at the airport.
Very good. Intention.
Yes, being intentional in your thoughts of compassion, patience,
yeah.
not only with others, but with yourself.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, thank you so much for this topic. I love it. It's a great topic. So where to start? So I think one of the perspectives is when we think about the word self-love, it can be very charged for some people who have experienced like a lot of trauma in their life and have experienced a lot of shaming externally from others, including parents or teachers or even peers if they were bullied. So what happens to individuals that have gone through such traumas is they develop a lot of self-loathing and self-contempt. And so there's a whole other hurdle for those folks to just love themselves. It's not so easy. So the external environments where they're experiencing harshness, criticism, shaming, and loathing from others, that begins to create an inner landscape where they begin to self-loathe and cultivate self-contempt for themselves. So it's a huge hurdle when they are told to just love themselves. They simply can't, and in fact, the word self-love can be triggering to them and create an incredible amount of shame. So one of the things that I work with when I work with myself, but also with my clients, is my partners, coaching partners, is to work on, if they're working with self-loathing and self-contempt because of past interpersonal relational trauma, one of the things that we work on is how to create a safe, as a first step, as how to create a safe inner landscape that is cozy, safe, gentle, tender, compassionate, forgiving, understanding within self, because it's something they did not experience externally, so they don't even know what it looks like to even love. What is love? What is self-love? They've never been taught it, they've never seen it, they've never been shown it. For some people that have gone through such traumas. And so starting with square one, which is how can I make that inner landscape cozy, safe, so that so that I myself, if I'm experiencing self-loathing, so that I myself am not my own threat, therefore interfering with the self-love, like the bigger aspect of self-love. I've become a threat within myself, so really creating that inner landscape of safety.
Very good.
Yeah.
Inner line, safe place.
Yes, got it. Inner landscape.
Inner landscape, safe inner landscape, yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much for having this conversation. I think that since we are in kindergarten, in our cultures, we are always taught that we are influenced by external events and we have to react to those, and we don't have control over those reactions. So as we grow, everything good that happened to us is because of some external thing that caused that good thing to happen. But everything bad that happens to us is because we are sinners, or we are incomplete, or it's always our fault. So in a way, we are not taught to control our mind. And we are taught that we cannot be our own saviors, or we cannot liberate ourselves, that we need somebody else from the outside to come and do that. And then, as everybody's saying, you can do that by, finding Jesus or somebody else, right? So some savior. You can do that by buying stuff, right? Or by accomplishing something in your job. But it's always something external that comes from the outside. And in a way, I think that has made a very unstable society in some countries. And because of that, I think during the last 50 years, because this is actually a very new term, like I don't think that self-love was something that was in America in the 1800s. There, the focus was on self-discipline. Like people wanted to be self-disciplined, right? Because that's what you need to survive at the frontier. But in the last 100 years, it's different. Now we want self-love because we are charged with so much guilt, so much incompleteness that we need to find a way to couple with that. And psychology has basically started to believe that you need to teach people also to have self-esteem, self-compassion, self-love. But I think that's a reaction to how we handle our minds in the society, always looking for external causes to explain our happiness and internal causes to explain our suffering.
Very good, well said, well said. So that now sounds like a lack of self-confidence, self-faith, faith in oneself. Sounds more like this, not having a faith in yourself, that you can be liberated by yourself. So, very good, well said.
I just wanted to make a comment, seeing as I'm the one who introduced this term into the conversation a couple of months ago, actually, or a couple of weeks ago. I feel it's going to be holding on me to make an updated comment. And I think what's key about the Christian concept of God and the individual is that as children, as small children, we are taught that we have original sin, which means there's a black mark on our soul, as Elise says, but what it means is that we've made some mistake. We have done something wrong, but beyond that, it means that I am a mistake.
That's a big problem, yeah?
Not that I do mistakes, but that I am a mistake. And the way to not be a mistake is to be more like God. And to be more like God means to do things for other people. But it creates a barrier between me and other people because I can do something good for you, but I'm ashamed of who I am. And so I'm trying to release some of that shame or erase the badness by doing good for other people. And that's a complete turnaround of the concepts we hear in Buddhism. Because in Buddhism we see that, yes, we have a cloudy glass of water, as you have often told us, but our Buddha nature is precious. And that's what we start with. We start with a precious Buddha nature, and we erase the clouds by working on our qualities. Whereas in Christianity, we are a mistake, and there's much shame involved with that.
Yeah, that's...
Yeah.
Thank you. There's several more.
I am.
Yeah.
I am mistake.
Yes, self-shame, erase badness by helping others. I'm a mistake because of this.
Not like I'm making mistake, I am the mistake. So that's important to write down, please.
And there's others on
That's good.
line.
Lamala,
go ahead.
So I'm afraid I'm going to bring up a whole new topic, and it's that this discussion doesn't address the culture that I was brought up in, and that is that there's just no self-love doesn't exist. It's what you can contribute to the group. The group is important. So maybe you start with the family, and when you honor the family, you do things for the family, you benefit the family, then it reflects on you too. So then it goes on to school and to work, the workplace. There's no such thing as self-love would be detrimental to the group. You have to do and help, benefit, and always keep in mind what would be best for the group. So I don't know how you would, what kind of part that would be on the meditation, because we're talking about millions of people who've been brought up with this mindset.
Means doing for others, not for yourself.
For the group, your own group, not the group outside, your own group.
Your own group.
Specifically.
Yeah. Yeah, please.
Hey, Geshe-la. So my different take on it is, as you know, my husband is Hindu, and we have many conversations about our two faiths and philosophies in regards to even self-love. And so, unlike Christianity, where there's original sin, his concept of self-love comes from Krishna, because he's a Gaudiya Vaishnava, and so he believes his whole purpose in transcendentalism is to be with Krishna and have Krishna's mercy, and which is different, right? And so I think about, when we talk about this, like Shakyamuni Buddha, who was, kind of came from some lineage within Hinduism and, found his own path, if you will. And I think about our concept of self, right, and our Buddha nature, which is what, Kim was sharing. And I also think about, in Hinduism, whether it's Krishna or, all the other Hindu gods, that ideology of having their mercy and wanting to please them and, have the love or the bhakti, right, from those gods. And it kind of gets me a little confused sometimes of what is our, when we think about self, we're not relying on a God, right? Mm-hmm. We're relying within. Mm-hmm. And how that's different. And then when Shakyamuni Buddha made that realization, does that kind of, I'm not sure what I'm asking here, Geshe-la, but I am curious about Shakyamuni Buddha's awareness to recognizing it is within rather than external, which I think Michael even alluded to as well, or somebody did, and so I'm just, I guess historically, is there a Buddha teaching about that, where this kind of transition from the love of God or a God or many gods, to oneself?
I'm in my break, enjoying my break, so the question is for 2 nuns. There's another one online.
Geshe-la, I think we are all on break now because it's afternoon. So we're going to have to continue this maybe next Sunday.
That's very good. Thank you, each and every one of you who contributed. Wonderful. And so now we are getting somewhere.
Please do email me with other comments and ideas, program.linda@kadampa-center.org. Thank you.
Yeah, maybe Robbie has something. Yeah. Doesn't matter after or before? After dedication. So.
Okay, please turn to page 246, and let's read the dedication prayers from Master Shantideva's Guide to the Bodhisattva's Way of Life. May all beings everywhere, plagued by sufferings of body and mind, obtain an ocean of happiness and joy by virtue of our merits. May no living creature suffer, commit evil, or ever fall ill. May no one be afraid or belittled with a mind weighed down by depression. May the blind see forms and the deaf hear sounds. May those whose bodies are worn with toil be restored on hunting repose. May the naked find clothing, the hungry find food. May the thirsty find water and delicious drinks. May the poor find wealth, those weak with sorrow find joy. May the forlorn find hope, constant happiness and prosperity. May there be timely rains and bountiful harvests. May all medicines be effective and wholesome prayers bear fruit. May all who are sick and ill quickly be freed from their ailments. Whatever diseases there are in the world, may these never occur again. May the frightened cease to be afraid and those bound be freed. May their powerless find power, and may people think of benefiting each other. For as long as space remains, for as long as sentient beings remain, until then may I too remain to dispel the miseries of the world. Now on page 244 and 245, the long life prayers. First for His Holiness. In the land encircled by snow mountains, you are the source of all happiness and good. All-powerful Chanrezi Tenzin Gyatso, please remain until samsara ends. In 245 for Sarah J. Khensen Rinpoche, Jetsun Losandela. The one who mastered speech at a very young age. The one with great patience who received the name Alatade. The one with great precision who spread the teachings of Lama Tsongkhapa and Bliss and Void. Lama ornament under the yellow hat tradition. Please remain until samsara ends. And then the inside back cover, a prayer for the swift return of Lama Zopa Rinpoche, peerless teacher and assembly of the children of victorious Swan, Shravakas, and Pratyeka Buddhas, victorious Losang, father and sons, along with the lineage masters, all the objects of refuge of the infinite lands, please bestow the virtue and goodness of accomplishing this prayer here and now. Holding and spreading the Muni's precious complete teachings through explanation and practice, wear the armor of patience that is never discouraged, incomparable venerable Guru, to you I make request, while striving single-pointedly for the sake of the victorious one's teachings, the sole gateway through which all benefit and happiness emerge, and for mother living beings, you suddenly depart to peace. What a great loss! Nevertheless, through the undeceiving truth of the blessings of the ocean of the three jewels and the great ways of Bodhicitta of the children of victorious ones, may the smile of a reincarnation swiftly beam in glory for fortunate disciples. Now the inside front cover for Geshe. Supreme Guide, you lead us on the many paths of virtue. A shining sun, you give us the best of excellent explanations. Supreme virtuous friend, you are a constant Dharma companion. Lama, who is announced fame, may you ever remain. And then for Geshe Sampo, you who have steadfast imprints of virtuous qualities and keep the instructions of glorious Guru in your heart. You have passed day and night with noble activities. Great virtuous friend, may you have a very long life. And then 7 Tara mantras for all beings. Om Tare Tu Re Soha. 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 Om Tare Tu Re Soha.
Thank you, Geshe-la. Thank you, everyone, for a wonderful discussion. Just wanted to remind people that we're having our last Sunday of the month potluck. So even if you weren't aware of it, there's always plenty of food. So please join us, and that's occurring every Sunday, the last Sunday of each month. 4th Sunday, okay. Yeah, some months there are 5 Sundays. And wanted to remind people, if you haven't picked up a copy of our annual report by the front door, please do so. This details where resources go at Kadampa Center and how you can contribute to that. We're not supported by any outside organization. Everything that happens here at Kadampa Center is supported by the people who value the teachings and want them to continue. So your donations go to keep the electricity on. They pay for housing and food for our precious Geshes. We're incredibly fortunate to have 2 Geshes here, which pays for visiting teachers. We've just come off a wonderful Dharma festival. So if you want to support that, your donations are very welcome. Thank you.
Well, May was a really busy month, wasn't it? But happy to say, in June, movie night is back. So Friday, June the 7th, we're going to be showing the film called The Words of My Perfect Teacher. It's a documentary about some students following around Kensei Norbu, who is a contemporary, renowned international teacher. And there's some very interesting insights about the student-teacher relationship. I think you'll really enjoy it. And free popcorn. Also, notice that for the month of June and July, we're going to be starting an eyeglass collection. The Satyasai community is giving a free healthcare day this fall, and they include eye exams. So they need donations of eyeglasses, both your outdated prescription glasses and also good quality reading glasses. So watch for announcements about that. We'll be collecting it in the lobby and a bin outdoors. Thank you. No, usually, yeah, but they need the frame to put them in, yeah. Throughout the month of June and July, we'll be collecting them. Yes, and if the center is closed, there'll be a bin outside the door. Oh, wonderful. Andre will start the collection. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, children translating. All my friends on YouTube and Zoom, see you next Sunday. Okay, bye-bye.
Gracias. Gracias, Ale.
Thanks, everyone online. Thanks for your contributions. If you have more, don't forget to email them to me, program.linda@kadampacenter.org, kadampa-center.org. Thanks. Bye.
Thank you very much. Bye bye.